We know what Jesus was when he was a man on earth. What was his profession? Was he a doctor?
Carpenter.
He was a heavenly doctor, but what was Jesus' work?
Carpenter.
But that's his heaven. But when he was a man on earth,
Panday to si Lord
he was
Jesus.
a carpenter. Jesus
Panday to
was
siya.
a carpenter. Because we know Jesus is the foundation. Jesus is the foundation. But also the builder. Without us, without the carpenters, the workers, there's no building. Without Jesus, there's no building, heavenly building for us. And then once though I became, and Jesus came in, and it's like, oh, Jesus, please forgive me for my sins. I could feel right away, boom, that God coming in me. And so it's no longer me. I feel me in there because I'd rather go steal a chicken and have a dinner. I would rather. Welcome y'all to the ProverbsGuys Ministry Designer Talk. Excited to be here. It is such a beautiful day here in the neighborhood. So hopefully we have some people coming to join and say hi for the new year. We've got a new direction, not a new direction, just a renewed direction here on Proverbs Guys to just proclaim God, the goodness that he has, and that he's actually there and is actually real. So if I don't get people coming on to say hi, we'll do it ourselves. Because today I'm going to go into the awesome Harvard University animations. And the new one I hadn't seen before. Maybe you guys have, because we've done seen the cell. We've done the little motor proteins, all this cool stuff that not too long ago we didn't even know existed. The last 100 and some years since there's been an attack on the need for a creator and the evidence for a creator. This is just straight science. I'm going to be bringing you from Harvard. If they were smart, they wouldn't have come out with them, because even though they still proclaim that there is no need for a God, or there's no evidence for God, more we see, the more the evidence seems like the cause is a creator, designer. Hi, Big Bad Mama, and I don't know where Robin is. And they had a good discussion the other day. You can look on the playlist. It was about whether, and I'm not going to try to slander anything, but the non-God explanation is better than the creator cause explanation for sexual reproduction that Robin was on. And and a friend of hers. That was awesome. You should go watch it. Let's see, we got Speed Rowans. I hope you had a great holiday season. I haven't seen you a while, but I haven't been on for a while. And everything's going great so far. And let's get right into this, and maybe we'll have more people come on in. But again, as we pick this apart, as what do we call that? Re-engineering. That we see something, and it could have been as simple as a recipe that you think is great, and you want to reproduce. We can actually take it down to the basic parts and reproduce it. Yeah, so much stuff like that. And same thing with a computer, with different tech stuff, with different inventions. People are out there trying to steal the secrets, and that can be done. So I come up and come to this at this video in that kind of direction. How was it created? How did it come into existence? What was the cause for its creation? And this is going to be awesome. Here we go. I'm going to start this up and try to talk at the same time. That's the wrong button. So strike one. I think I go to this thing. There we go. And then I'm going to share this. And then I've got to go and share it here. So this is a Harvard animation. They're coming out with such cool ones. And now we'll head on over. Look at that. You can even teach an old dumb guy to push enough buttons the right direction. So here we are. Credit to the Harvard, that's that big college back east somewhere. Harvard online electron transport chain. And they're getting in the detail into the mitochondria, I believe. I just briefly looked at this, so we'll watch it in total for the first time together. And we got to hit this one here. Boom. Let's go big screen. Okay, check this out. So this is inside of the cell. I'm believing, correct me if I'm wrong, or just pretend I'm smart and pretend like you're not going to correct me. This is inside a cell. I think this is the powerhouse, the mitochondria. Anyway, it's a little complex structure inside the cell. But let's go. Let's see what they're saying. So here again, this is the cell lining. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that they believe this was a separate little separate little life form out there, and it got hooked up with a cell. And one, I am gonna show during this that that's probably not a cell. You got problems because this is pretty necessary for the cell. And then we got to figure out what the heck powered the cell before. How did it? Anyway, check this thing out. This is very simple looking, but they will explain later that they're not showing everything. This is This is side cut, and it's just of this lining. So there's the lining of the little machine inside there. Okay, so the little guys they have is yellow ping pong balls floating around there. So they will be floating in the cell's jelly. Um, and then, but those are what power, that's the energy for the cell. And this cute little um, pink machine is going to be tapping it and getting it inside. Let's see. Okay, and I just disclaimer: this is Harvard, so when they say a little machine, when they use that language, is because that's the simplest way to actually explain what it looks like it is and what it looks like it's doing. So, to the science, these are little machines. This is the evidence. Then my uh, explanation of the cause is that this thing has to be created. This is not something that just happened, and it would be chance as defined as in there's nothing directing this in godless evolution. Of course, theistic evolution, they're saying God pre-primed all this stuff, might have come through time to create these things all along the deep time timeline. But wow, check these things out. So again, we're looking at this little machine in here, not the rotator, the one inside the mitochondrial. I think I said that right. And without the little photons, it's dead. The cell stops, and we got billions, trillions, quadrillions just in the human species as a total, and then I think it's billions per person. Don't quote me, look it up. We have a lot of cells. Each one is doing something like that. Okay, again, we're going to be re-engineers here. We're going to figure this thing out, and then we're going to create it ourselves. So our first hurdle, not our first, I mean, the first that I'm going to point out is like there is two of them helping out. No, there's one helping out the two. Um, so that's more efficient. Wouldn't it be more efficient if you just had one, or if you had a system that didn't need this? This is just a lot of complex machines because these are proteins. They are built by other proteins from the design aspects of the plan inside of our DNA. So, oh my gosh, you know what? No wonder the smart people haven't figured this out. Of course, they're going to say, this is it. And we know because we have bones in the dirt and we can see sand piles and rock piles that we didn't need a God. And so, of course, this had to happen without direction. Guys, and I've had that asked me, whoa, you think complexity is a sign of a creator? Yeah. And then they will, whatever that thing called, scarecrow me. They will tell me, oh, well, Dan, sand patterns, is that, no, that's not complex. So to explain, so you can steel man me, this is the complexity I'm saying that I don't see how we can attribute this, that the cause of this that we're going to be watching was chance, meaning it had no direction. Nothing was there looking into the future saying, oh, we need these little guys like we're doing right now. We're saying, how could I recreate this thing? If I was recreating this thing, I wouldn't do it with so many parts. Come on now. We want to do the simplest design to make it work good. Every cell in our body has these, and you can kind of see if you're thinking into pretend like you're going to steal this. This is some billion-dollar product, has no patent on it, no trademark, and if you figure out how to redo it, you're going to be a trillionaire. Okay? And seriously, if you figure this thing out, you will be a trillionaire because there's so much micro information / whatever you want to call it. If you could tap into this and create something like this, dude, Elon Monkey or whoever the other billionaire you want to talk about would be coming to you to borrow money. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm going to hopefully dumb it down because there's must be somebody out there with my brain power, and so I want you to understand it as well as I. And then if you're smarter, you can explain it. But it's saying that all the little yellow dots, that's what powers our cell. But they have to get down into the little subunits, the little micro machine there, which is, I believe, the powerhouse, but it is one of the machines in the cell. It is powered by the little yellow dots, the protons, I think positively charged. Again, it's meaningless unless you're a bookworm. That's what powers us on the subatomic level. And they have to get from the cell, which is the top part, that's inside the cell, and it has to go through that layer, which is keeping stuff out because you don't want the little machines or anything having too much junk in them. But you need the little yellow ping pong balls. And so somehow, if you don't believe in a creator, these 4 little machines that are getting the little marbles from the outside to the inside are there to do it. Now, if you want to and design something, you want to make it the simplest. Yeah, and that's why we'll have a heating air conditioner unit. So you have less units, less parts, in which case, less potential trouble. So I'm seeing 4 things here that have to be not just designed, created. You got 4 things here that can go wrong. So this is not a very simplistic, and this is why I'd say, man, there's no process, no direction behind all these little guys. I don't have enough faith to believe this was all undirected. But let's go. I ain't brain power here. You can tell me, guys, my smarter friends, those who believe there's no evidence for God, don't tell me this just happened because, one squirrel on one side of the Grand Canyon hopped over to the other side sometime, and then they changed, they evolved, and so therefore these little machines evolved without direction. I'm sorry. Please give me a little more than that. Okay, good. Let's simplify this. Let's go for just one of these little structures, because I would imagine nobody believes that all four of those structures evolved by chance at one time. You must. I'm pretty sure, and if I'm not straw manning you, I want to really, give your beliefs that that the theory of evolution without a direction, slowly, gradually pop these things in there. So let's just study this one. Maybe this was the first one, and the other ones just came along a couple decades, millennia, millions of years after. So let's see if this guy could have done it by himself, because, man, my brain is getting overloaded with how do we do this? So we're just going to try to figure out this little guy. Okay. No. This is way too complex. This has to come in like yesterday. Why are those in there in the right spot? Why were they in there at all? Because the power, the little yellow guys, or this somebody else even, are these sugars? I like sugars. I like sweets. But guys, come on now. Come on. Let's have a serious chat here. No, there's not by chance. What? Wait a minute. What? All those little pinky guys, and the little. Uh oh, I'm a guy. I'm a typical guy. So whatever color those are, those aqua. Why don't you use my prime colors? Those things are just pumping the little protons. So how'd the protons get in there originally? Come on, guys, we got to think this, because if we can't re-engineer this, we're going to stay poor. We got to do this to make our trillions. We'll be the first trillionaires. But oh my goodness, maybe we should just stick to the little wormy guys climbed out of the ocean and turned into fishies, and because that we can kind of pretend, you can tell the child story. But now, poor Harvard, if they really knew they were being used by God to show the complexity, guys, this is the complexity I argue needs a creator. Because again, you if there's no creator, no designer, nothing directed this, then those guys had to pop in by chance, and then whoa, that really worked good. So please, again, correct me, and so I can re-explain it, or you can have me. But these weren't directed to be here. They didn't even know they were going to be a part of a pump system. and they have to be at the right same area, and all they're doing is pumping the power into it, into the whatever. And this one happens to be the power plant, I believe. But it doesn't matter what it is, dudes. Come on, just stare at that. And there's billions of these in your body, if not trillions. And that's why, and I know you guys are like, oh, spaghetti monster in the sky. No, this is something outside time, space, and matter, which corresponds to the novel prediction in the Bible. That now let's keep going, man. I'm going crazy here with this because this is complex. Poor Mr. Apple, whoever made the Apple, or the billionaire that made the other computers, or stole them, whatever he did, gonna do this. By chance, I had three, one doctor in scientific smarts, and some other guys that worked at Hewlett Packard. It was a local company. Most people have heard of it, I would think, here in the area. And their thing was to just by chance they would make different structures, put power through it to try to get the transistors to do what they want. You put input this side, out that side. And these are top scientists of Hewlett Packard. They were doing it by chance. Well, let's try a thin layer of gold around a tube and then a thin layer of something else, and let's put some electricity through it and see what comes out the other side, or some kind of power. And you're telling me this? And that's nothing. There was no. Anyway, let's keep going here. Okay, that was getting too crazy for my brain. So maybe this is simpler. Let's just try to do this little end piece of it. See how that we can reconstruct that. Um, because we're failing, guys. You're not going to be part of. I'm failing you because I don't know about you, but I'm not figuring this out. Oh, surprise, surprise! No multi-doctorate scientist has either, because we can't use a supernatural in trying to figure out how this stuff works. Oh, let me go back a little farther. I wonder if it gets a tax deduction for the donation. Um, Wait a minute. And I love the language of science because it is so descriptive of a creator. He's donating. What do you mean he's donating? That takes thought. A donation, no. Little blue dots or whatever color those are, go pass through him, and he has to be there because they're falling down its little video game track, and it deposits. It allows two of those things to go. Come on, language. Let's not use language of a creator. He didn't donate it. They just happened to fall through there because he's put there for some reason. Man, how could that's probably it? Somebody has the knowledge of how to make this thing, but they dumb it down because they want to hide the information. Is that it? But no, let's see. This is cool. Oh, well, now that we're totally lost on that one, let's go to another one. We're going to have no clue how this complexity works. Hey, but he has less pink things. Maybe that'll be easier. Byproduct, does that mean they're recycling? Is our cell recycling? Oh my gosh, it was the first green people around. Um, Maybe they donated some aluminum cans. Let's see. Well, you think this must be simpler though, because it didn't have to use stuff to do stuff. So maybe this was the first one that, by chance, random, unguided um, processes, most likely mutations. I would tend to agree. I mean, I would think that's what you guys believe, that a mutation made this happen. But let's see. Whoa, wait a minute. It doesn't even donate it to the little machine down there. It actually donates it to another little machine. Oh, how sweet. Because the number three, um, he didn't have enough on his own. Okay, people, this is getting a lot more complex because let's keep going. We're failing. I think we're failing. Now we know why, Dr. Torres, a famous synthetic chemist, is saying that, and as a scientist, he's kind of obligated to say that, well, scientists, not the science, scientists might figure it out in 1,000 years how this could have happened undirected. Okay, I think he's way too much science minded. But let's go now. So all those other little guys, and I'll call them, they look like they're proteins. They're donating what they produce to this guy. So number four can give it to. Let's keep going. Come on, guys. We're isn't your minds? I don't care if you believe this happened by chance. No guiding force, no intelligence. Isn't your head just a little bit about to explode? Now we've even got the Matrix. I thought that was science fiction. Maybe we are in the Matrix. Let's go. I thought we breathed oxygen so we could run faster. Oh my gosh, look at this. You're breathing oxygen right now. So this little number four can get a little couple pieces of water to turn into oxygen so your body doesn't die. Gosh, that could happen by chance. Nothing there to direct that. Yeah, see, here's complexity upon complexity. But it's easy. Okay, guys, I'm just joking with you. The designer, Dan, I've I'm just stringing you along. Of course it's easy. This is no problem. All we got to do is figure out the DNA brain. Not the DNA, it's just information. But there must be a brain telling the proteins, cuz DNA has the instructions for all these proteins, all the different ones, and all the numbers somehow, because you can't have 10 million of the lavender ones or you would die. You can't have too little or you'd die. And so which is your favorite color? No, that's just for our eyes because inside okay, never mind. Rabbit hole I'll climb back out of. So, the DNA has the instructions for all these proteins, but it takes proteins to read the DNA and the little machine proteins to make all these little guys. Guys, all we need, I've got it figured out, and I had it figured out. All we need is the brain behind the DNA, behind the proteins, because we know DNA couldn't come with the instructions at the same time needing what it has the instructions for, which is the proteins. It That's a big chicken and egg. It's a billion times more complex than the chicken and the egg, which came first. There has to be something outside of the DNA and the proteins because they're both needed to make proteins. To make the DNA, am I explaining that well enough? Because it's making my head hurt. DNA is just the instructions. The little protein is just the product. And we know by our human experience, it would have to have an outside cause, something where that's impossible that they both came about at the same time. You have the DNA, you're never going to get a protein. But if you just have the proteins that are needed to read the instructions, read the blueprints, and produce things, can't be there without the instructions. So there's got to be something outside of that. And what I will postulate to you. Oh, let's finish this. Then I'll postulate. That sounds like such a big word. Okay. I hope you guys have had much fun. No matter what you believe, I hope you had much fun seeing that. Probably not listening to my babble, but it's my show. And let's say, I'll get back out here. Sorry about the commenters. If somebody wants to come in, you can't because I didn't post the link, huh? No wonder. You guys weren't being snobby. I was being stupid. Okay. Anybody want to talk about this, how we can create it? We're sticking to the subject of just this today. I get too many diversions because of course somebody comes in and goes like, but what about the purple in plants? And I'll go off on purple in plants. This has nothing to do with anything but this little cell machinery. And okay, would you shut up and just go like that? Uh-oh, I messed up. What did I do? Too many buttons, but I can do it. You can even train a monkey like me. V, right? Oh, look at that. Somebody want to come in and we'll help. We'll go together. Theists, non-theists, we can figure out how to do this and make $1 trillion, which we can donate like $10 to feed a starving person. So we make ourselves feel good. Fossils aren't just bones in the dirt. Thank you, Mr. Oh gosh, I got to put that up. Of course, that was Mr. Logo. Thank you. That, as you can probably tell, was just a side comment because I like to babble. Thank you very much. Fossils are, you can give me the definition because we all know they're like little rocks that the actual bone has gone away and it's been replaced by minerals into a cool little fossil that we can buy and put on our shelf. Um, no, it didn't have sound. Did I babble enough then? Oh my gosh. Did you hear my talking? I'm going to blame it on I think I'll, oh, see, sorry, Maud. Okay. Was there any volume? Did you hear me babble or we were just, I heard it. I thought it was cool. Oh my goodness. And I was, so this is why I will fire. I told Steven I was going to be on here and he said he'd come on too. Steven, you're fired. Oh, except for I'd be even worse. No, he said he was going to read. Did he? He said he was going to take off the beaver title. Oh my goodness. All right. Dirty little secret. Anybody here a good tech guy? Because if I fire Steven, then I'm lost because I can't do any of it. Okay. It's kind of like a need situation. Well, hello, everybody. Are you hearing me now? Am I coming through? Hello. Let's see. Boom. Okay. And I didn't even send you the link to help me out. Am I going to have to restart? Why can't I see the comments? Well, hopefully you got credit for this video because you should watch it. And I would put it in a link somewhere, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to go back there just to see what I did wrong. No, it says it has. It says it. Alrighty. Well, I'm in the greenhouse. You guys want to see the greenhouse? Is anybody still here because there was no sound? Oh my goodness. You wouldn't have got it anyway because you're not scientists, like smart like me. How come I can't get other comments? DNA has no. Okay, maybe you heard me then because so Robin, though, it has to have some kind of control center because without the information being read, transposed, created, DNA is just like a blueprint. So when you worked on your house or when we do your landscape, I still want to get there. I won't promise because I haven't got out east. I've been wanting to do that forever. But so if we did your landscape, we would make a plan. Maybe. Sometimes I don't. Want to produce anything. It's only after, so it has to be developed, written, diagrammed, and then you have to have. Then that's where it's so much more complex in life because the plan also has the DNA also has the plan to create the workers and the material. So the easiest cause for that is an intelligence. See what I mean? Darn. Can I call Steven right now? That little. Can I say but? It's my own show. If we get man, are you live already? What do you mean I'm not live already? You're my tech guy. What do you mean I missed your call? Uh-oh. I had my phone. Okay, shh, I didn't say that, guys, because that could have been my fault then. Uh-oh. I was in church. I silenced my phone. Okay, well, I'll give him a little grace because he did call me at 3:05. It's 3:47. And he did then ask me, are you live already? Okay. I said I was going live. Let's see if they. Okay. Let's have a vote. If you're still here because I didn't have sound on my stupid cool Harvard video. Let's see. No, I set that out at 3:00. What do you mean? I put out going live, join to say hi. That was 3:04. And at 3:05, he called me. I can't answer your phone. It was on silence. You're the tech guy. You should have known that I put it on silent in church and then didn't turn it back on. Okay, let's call him live because I'll chastise him. Live on air. If I'm still live. It says I've been going 46 minutes. Come.
Hey, Dan.
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? You're supposed to come on at 3 with me.
Oh, are you on right now?
I sent the link.
Okay, I'll be right there.
You were fired, but now it turned out you did call me at 3:05. So I think I blew stuff. So okay, come on, say hi.
All
right. Okay, I had to wimp out because it probably was my fault. Oh my goodness, I always forget. Do you guys do that too? You put it on silent, and then people are calling you, and it's like, I don't need this phone anyway. I never had a phone back in the day, Robin, and we know that Big Bad Mom, if he's still there, poor guy, I'll excuse him if he left. He's older than dirt. He was there before cell phones. We would come home and we'd have a message, maybe. That's if somebody answered the phone and said, "Hey Dan, you got a phone call." Anyway, we're showing Robin. That was probably not you. You were probably born in the day of cell phones. Let me see if I get more. Is anybody here still? Throw tomatoes or something. Yoo-hoo Dan, but I was in that screen and I wasn't looking at comments. DNA has no central nervous system. We know which came first. What? Robin, come tell me which came first. No, we don't know which came first. Do we? That's why you're here. I put a link. I did put my link. This is too funny. Yeah. Would have been better if they would have been explaining. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. What? The egg. The egg came first. In philosophy, I think that's a great debate. Okay. The egg came first. No, the egg didn't come first. You're wrong on that because the first life didn't have eggs. So the first life came first. You're joking with me. And rabbit hole. I'll go down it and actually seriously start thinking that the egg came first. Now it's according context. Oh man, don't get those little teeny chickens. They're obnoxious. Not the bannies; they're totally worthless. Never mind. But there's this intermediate chicken, and they're obnoxious. They run away. Out and get out. They get out so easy, and but then they have babies, and then I had a bunch of them. So on those ones, yeah, the egg came first. Eggs existed before chickens. Oh, I see what you mean. That might even be a creationist thing too, but not the chicken egg. Context. I always thought of it as, did the chicken egg come first or the chicken? But then again, Robin, when we re-engineer that and we're looking at it like, you have to. So where did the mutations come that changed the predecessor, which would have probably been a dinosaur to you guys? So it gradually, but then the first ones didn't have eggs at all. So when we had our little first little creatures. Now wait a minute, that's a good one. See, this is so fun. So we had the single cell first, I would imagine. Then they made little colonies, and hey guys, let's all get together. I'm too cold. Let's hug. Whatever their description was. So they made a colony of single cells that started doing their own thing. But wouldn't they have been on their own little track, or they were the only ones around? So in our tree, and again, that's just a simplistic thing for us simplistic people. So you had the first life, would imagine was we would call a single cell, but maybe not. Maybe it did come from outer space. and it was just the egg. Never mind, we won't go there. So anyway, I'm kind of wasting time till Steven gets here, and so I can chastise him for me having my phone on, silent, because it's his fault. It has to be his fault. And he will be a good tech guy and fall on the sword for me, because people already think I'm stupid enough. So I don't need more help. But that is, again, Robin, and seriously, it's a good question, because again, all now and so the debate has been, and the non directed crowd saying that we don't need a direction. Um, so chickens came before chicken eggs. I see, and that's, boy, as trying to design that, Robin. Oh, I can put it up there so everybody can see, because nobody's going to see that if they're stupid enough to watch this after. That getting in a lot of problems for re-engineering, and so then you got to figure that's just one system. There are so many systems that had to come together at the same time, because we have our little first life, which we have no clue. Then we have our Luca or Lucas or Mucus or whatever it was, which was the first common ancestor. And let's see, who are you backstage? You have the right stuff.
Hello, Dan.
Hello. Oh, you're trying to get on so you don't get chastised.
No. I just came to support, and yeah. What do we got going on here today?
Failure. I put on a cool video, the one you see right there that looks like a bunch of what do they call that? Where you get the plastic and you make different stuff. Those little copy machines.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a bunch of things created by one of those machines, but it's actually transferring power into the mitochondria from the cell. And I did the whole video, and I didn't have the sound. So hopefully they heard me babbling. At least there would have been some sound, because I don't shut up. And who's on Achilles' back?
That's Big Bad Mama on Achilles' back.
Okay. Those are beer cans.
Yep.
That's funny. He is, or she has sure gotten ugly in her old age, because that must have been 40 years ago when she was still cute, because Big Bad Mama is about as ugly as they come for a woman right now. I can say that because I was, he's such a handsome dude, if that's his real picture. And yeah, anyway, we won't go there. So, how's your day going?
Really well. Yeah, we had a good day at church and had a good old time.
Oh, we too. And I got here right at 3, because I was going through and just going through this video. This is the first time I've seen it. And so the church today was awesome. Our young pastor was talking about, I think, get a real good sermon on it, of how it has the law had different purposes, and how, to begin with, it was just to show us that because people back in the day, it's like, oh yeah, we're pretty good, and it's like, well, and God gave the 10 Commandments saying, you stand up to this. And then, of course, a lot of them are like, uh-oh, Lord, I call on your name because I'm not going to do this. But then, of course, after a while, they're going, yeah, we're doing this. We're living this law perfectly. And, of course, they weren't. And then then it came about that it was used to bring us to God. That's the wrong one. Where'd Robin go? And then, of course, now to me, and I think is that it's nothing to do with my salvation. It's never been to do with anybody's salvation. Dan seen the thumbnail? I have, but I just didn't really look at it, and that's why I finally just looked at it. Are you still there? Uh-oh.
No, I'm here.
Stephen, did I just... Okay. So, and then the third phase
I think she's talking
is like...
about the thumbnail from our debate.
Do you have it advertising something if somebody is... Well, Robin's here, but she doesn't need to see it. But if anybody else is... She's here because she's, she tries to take care of us and set us straight where other people see it. And now the reason I didn't get your call is I had it silenced for church. Now I should put it back because I don't need it making noise. So, yeah, that was awesome. Debate coming with Stephen and with Robin about was United States built on Christian principles. So, where was I though? I was going somewhere good. And then, the law. And then uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Joseph?
Hey,
welcome.
What's going on?
Now I got two great tech guys. And so I needed both of you about a half an hour ago because I did that video on top of you. If you see, it's a Harvard video of inside the cell of actually little protein machines that get the I believe the protons that powers the cell into the mitochondria. All those is just to collect the energy to get it inside. And there's 4 of them that actually do it together. It's craziness. But I didn't have the video sound on. It was, he was so excited he left. Or he thought I was going to chastise him, where it was just you, Stephen, that I blame for me not having sound. Anyway, but the law, and then the third one, like Paul said, he has liberty to do anything he wants. He does not have to follow the law because he was saved by Jesus Christ. But, and the big but, is that welcome back to saying how we're doing the sermon on the law today, and that you, as a Christian, I'm a son of God. I can be prodigal if I want. I can do it. I'm still God's son. I'm still a Christian. But God is not going to be, I'm not going to please my father. And I know when I didn't please my human father, I didn't get a woodshed. We didn't have one, but I got it. I got it. And so if we know that the law is good and to please our Father in heaven, we should follow the law. We shouldn't murder. We should put him first. We should stay away from other people's wives. List goes on. And so we will be in tune with the Holy Spirit. We will receive love, joy, peace, patience, the fruit of the Spirit, which makes us, that's the way we should have been created, or that's the way we were created to be. And sure, you can sin. You're still God's child, but you're not going to please him. And we know John, and I love that one because that was a debate you had, Stephen, was if you continue in sin, if you're happy with your sin, all that kind of stuff, you might not be a true son of God or a true daughter of God. But we mess up, but God will keep us on the line. Gemma had a great one today of, it's like our road, our narrow path. And I don't know if Alabama has modern roads, but here in California, we have buttons. And so if you swerve a little bit, you start hitting the buttons. And it tells you you're getting off track. And that's the law. That is the law for us. It's a loving you're going to start hitting some. Then what? Lust. If you keep going with lust, you'll probably go off on a wrong path, and you're not going to please God, and you're not going to please yourself. And so that's my interpretation of the law. It does not hurt my salvation, but I may be hurt if I don't follow it and please God with it.
Yeah, the example I like to use, because it especially applies to men, is, there's a difference between falling into sin and planning it out. You could get a call from a buddy and he wants you to go to the club with him, and you might just have a weak moment and make bad decisions and bring a girl back to your place. And what happens happens. That's an example of falling into sin. But if you're going on Amazon and ordering a bulk of condoms because you plan on falling back into that sin, then that wasn't a stumble. You premeditatedly did it.
You know what? And I heard your show the other day. It was great, you and Krista, where you used that example, and it's so true. And we even have that in our common law. If you plan out killing somebody, that is the highest form of murder. If you accidentally kill somebody, premeditated, and if you accidentally kill somebody and it's not malicious, it's not even, it's just an accident, you might not be charged at all. It's a homicide, but it's not chargeable, because not only was there intent, it wasn't malicious, you didn't, get drunk and drive, it wasn't something, that was avoidable. So same way with that. I think that's an awesome example. And so again, it's the difference between James here, science doesn't care. Actually, Jamie, if you can come on in, and if you heard the thing I just said on the law, is that it doesn't do with your salvation. Salvation is by grace alone. But if, like in James, if you have faith, you will have works to show. If I'm breaking the law willfully, happily, I probably don't have true faith. And that's where the non-believers, and what do you think, Stephen, how do we explain that to people? They go, oh, the greasy grace people, which I disagree with. The concept's right. You're saved by grace, God's gift alone, not of works. And James is telling, though, that if, you have, if you have the saving faith, you will have works. The non-believers, and I think just as two, say that, oh, you guys, you're Christian, so you can do what you want. It's like, no. Not and if I'm going to please God, the closer I am to fulfilling the law is the more I'm going to. So what do you think? Oh, Stephen, did you see that? The Bruce had a debate, not a debate, but he had a talk. He had a talk with the Mennonite guy. Is that a Mennonite? No, not. It was a Jewish Hebrew guy.
I unfriended Bruce.
The Hebrew,
and I don't really plan on talking to him. Like he's just very rude and very crass and shows very little to no love. And I don't think he exhibits any of the fruits of the Spirit. The scripture that he knows, he weaponizes to attack atheists instead of try to get them saved. And frankly, I'm just tired. 4 years of trying with Bruce, and I think it would be easier to recircumcise myself blind.
I got that machete. Oh, that sword I found. I'll ship it over to you. Um,
Yeah, I would take that. No, he came on
anyway,
the channel that night that we did the episode about, reproductive organs and whether that is a sign for evolution or a sign for creation. And he made it sound like we were all talking very inappropriately and it was a bad topic. But then he went right over to Terry's channel and was joking with him about cocaine. So I just washed my hands of him.
I'm yeah, and too. I was on Jamie's show. Oh no, not Jamie's. Terry's, and I stuck around just because it's like, whoa, we have to have somebody that's confessing, born again Christian, that's actually polite. And that's why we dumped him off our, or you dumped him off of our show. I was totally fine with that. Or did you? It doesn't matter. He left our show, which was great because, it's like I heard something and where it is, the sign that you're really a loser is that you won't try to understand your somebody you disagree with, even their arguments.
Yep.
Is that you're ready to attack them rather than and that's why I love Robin around, because she's actually helped me to clarify what I'm saying, so I don't steal, or whatever that's called, that I steal man their argument. I actually can communicate what you're believing, what your thoughts are, instead of putting up a straw man, putting up a false belief that you don't even, or a belief that's you don't even have. Um,
I'm
Joseph.
trying, guys. It just keeps kicking me off, saying the studio timed out, refresh, reload. It's so odd.
I think it's EV Mux. EV Mux wouldn't
Oh,
let me
well, we'll
even
be quick then.
stream it
I just.
yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to revisit. But Joseph, I just wanted, because we had a great chat. Because you are, I don't know if you're official, but you're in our Proverbs guys circle, and there he goes again. So I can just express it that we're, as a ministry, going to try to get more focused, because as you guys know, we are we're dumb foxes that are just like going down all these different rabbit holes, and the rabbits are kind of sitting out in the open on the other side just laughing at us. So we're going to have topics and we're going to stick to them. I, as president, am asking host, because this is a subject, and I'm horrible at that. So it's to help each other. But when we get somebody in who they're just trying to go into rabbit holes, and now that it's been so many years, there again are the ignorant ones, because they're not trying to understand arguments. They're just trying to give theirs, and they're trying to, like, when I had the show on the incredible little Mr. Beaver, and it went off on, oh, we made a misstatement because we read something Google had, discounting the whole full show of showing how great and how the beaver is best explained by a creator. And so, sorry, people, if that is you, um, eh, you're not going to be allowed to, yeah, because, and not your fault. If I was smarter, if I was more direct, I'd be able to, like, oh no, that's the rabbit hole. Let's get back over here. But I'm not, as you know. And so this is mainly for me, to keep me on track. There's certain people in the community that after this much time, I'm kind of, I've been hit enough over the head that you're really just trying to divert what we're talking about. And so go somewhere else, especially if you're rude and vile and a pervert. Yeah, there's other channels you can go onto. We here want to stick to Christ and Him being crucified for my sins, and then again, I realize people, not everybody believes in sin. Sin is just missing the mark biblically. Sin is if I'm trying to help my community and I don't. That's a form of sin. Now, there is the Christian sin that we have a creator, and if we divert from his will, that is missing the mark, because I'm really thinking that people, and why people, Stephen, what do you think? Because they'll be like, oh, I'm not a bad person, I'm a good person. Could that be because they know inside they would like to do some good stuff? They see that, empathy is helpful. So I'm a good person because I want to help my neighbor. Um, and sometimes we as Christians, it's like, because we come from the biblical or godly, or God, not godly, but God proclamation that our motives really aren't good, and all of our good is as filthy rags. And I know in my life, a lot of times I was trying to help people out because I wanted them to be nice to me. Joseph, really quickly, I was talking about what we talked about in our group the
Man, I
other day
can't
of
hear you
staying on
guys, man.
track with our subject.
So wild.
Oh, tech guy Steven, what do you think, Steven? We'll have to go.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, you can agree with that. Joseph just came on, but anyway, yeah. So, as the founder and best tech guy when you're on with me, yeah, we're gonna have subjects and we're gonna stay on it as much as possible. Of course, you guys know we're like a cat with a laser pointer, and you will easily get us off track. But seriously, here, we all have the fulfillment of the novel prediction in the Bible that if you repent of things that are imperfect in your life, the imperfections, and call on the Creator, He will dwell within you. The Holy Spirit will lead you and guide you. You will start going from worldly stuff, we would call, to a presence of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control, called the fruit of the Spirit. And we want everybody to experience that. Again, novelly predicted. It was only through the Bible. No other religious writing had that. It was all, do what you can do. It's yours, Joseph, if you can.
My goodness
Joseph,
gracious.
do you hear us? Man, I'm so sorry. As we can see, Eve Mux must not be must more of the original design, because things get better with evolution. You find your niche. So this thing will go extinct someday, because it sucks with people with trying to get on sometimes. And Joseph, just keep trying talking if you can. We hear you. And Steven went away. So I'll probably close this down. It's over an hour. And love you guys. And again, come up with our questions, or your questions, because a lot of our friends are believers in science, the scientific method, that you have novel predictions. Those novel predictions are evidence for causes of what you believe or what we see. And we have billions of people throughout time, different countries, life experiences, ages, wealth, cultures, and they come to the same conclusion. The novel prediction was that Jesus Christ came, lived perfectly, died for your and my imperfections, and rose again to prove it. And that will make you right with the Creator. And then you will have the Holy Spirit dwell inside you. Novel prediction. Billions of people I've not met, because most people are dead, I think. People in communist China that have to gone underground. People in Europe that kind of are attacked to believe in such a narrow-minded thing that you have to believe in Jesus. Muslim countries where if you believe that and make that statement, they will kill you. So all over the novel prediction has come true and is proof that the Bible's correct. Any other questions out there? Oh, there's 32. I don't know. This even max thing, Mux. Thank you, Joseph. And again, and hopefully you can hear it off. That conversation we had was awesome, and we're going to stay on track with Christ and Him crucified. We believe that the basic gospel is all you need for salvation. Make yourself a child, and then once you're a child of God, God ain't gonna kick you out again because you don't believe the right things, you don't do the right things. And then if you repent, He's not, okay, now I'm adopting you. What kind of adopted parent would boot the kid daily, monthly, yearly? Come on, that's not a very good father. I was just a foster kid, and I fell in love with my little babies. They were babies. The oldest, I think, was 3 or 4. And I had to stop because I saw abuse from the social system. Abuse being that we got a little baby into our home. They thought he was, I'll put it in my terms because that's what I thought I was. I thought he was like me. I thought he was retarded because he was the product of a deaf, blind mother in an institution that didn't give consensual okay. She had this baby. They kept the baby with the mother. The doctors, these smart people, these scientists said, I don't think it's really that good to keep this baby with the mother. Little experiment, because they're thinking, oh, you got to keep the child with the mother. That's the way, it's the best thing, even if the mother's bad. Mother wasn't bad. She was just retarded and had vision and deaf, and she was blind. Come on. And those are the people you want to follow. No, I'm sorry. I felt like, because then they ripped him out of our house. We had him on video going from I think it was about 18 months, 9 months, whatever it was. We had videos of our daughters with him. He was talking, was communicating. He was out of his little corner, which he was in rocking when we got him. And but this doctor, he was a psychologist for the county, state, whoever it was, said, well, I didn't get to analyze him before he went into your house because it was Christmas. And if we would, they ripped him out of our house. And we knew the driver who would bring the kids to us back and forth. And she said, yeah, little Billy's back in his corner rocking. And at that point, I'll tell you how emotionally evolved I was in little Billy. I had murderous thoughts. So I actually committed murder, because if you just think about it in your brain. But that doctor, I didn't have loving thoughts to him. I had to stop because I broke one of the commandments, and I knew God, it was not pleasing my Heavenly Father that God was going to deal with him. Nothing I could have done to that evil psychologist. Yes. And if you think that a psychologist who knows that if you rip a child out of a house, or no, not even say that. If a child has 3 to 4 different houses, they will not be able to socialize, to get bonded with the 4th, 5th, 6th house. And this was house number 3 that he ripped them out of our house. And I'm not smart, but if that's what happens, he was just trying to keep that kid in the system. And again, I broke. Somebody can help me, because even if you think of murder, you're a murderer. Because it was like an evil thought inside me, because it wasn't a good thing to go do evil to that doctor. That was my human nature. And I pray that doctor got saved, because, wow, he wasn't. He destroyed that little baby. Anyway, trying to get to the comments now. This thing's not working either. Maybe I'm at the end. It says I have 33. But anyway, with that last happy story of Dan, according to Jesus, committing murder and breaking that commandment. But again, and this is where you can, in 1 John, I'll end with this because it's awesome. Those who continue, if you continue in sin, you are not God's child. Saying that, that was a big sin. I felt just evil inside. But I repented. I had to stop being a foster father, and because that it wasn't going away, and but it made me feel bad. I didn't like that feeling, and I repented of it, and haven't had it again. Awesome. So I've broken other commandments, and what does it say? If you break the least of the commandments, you broke them all. So those who want to tell other people you've got to follow the 10 commandments, just remember, if you've broken one little part of it, you've broken the whole law. It's not 10 commandments. It is one law. You can break a commandment, but you're breaking the whole of the law. So I wouldn't trust in law. I don't. So I don't even focus on the law, because again, Paul tells you that, if you just think on love, if I think on love, I'm not going to get away from the true love himself, which is Jesus Christ, which is God. I won't not love my neighbor. And you guys know, sometimes I've gotten on here and I'm not very loving. I've broken that commandment. That broke them all. And so, okay, let's get out of here on a positive note. Get over here, crazy dog. Say hi to everybody. Say bye to everybody. Hey, right here. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Oh, Mama must have been telling me. I told her an hour and a half on the show. Say hi to everybody. Right here. What? And look at that face. And you can say that there's no creator behind this. You're welcome to it. But what? Look at this love. Look at this love. All these systems. Really? You can trace this back? No, I mean, you're a better designer. No, you're not a designer. You're more into the philosophy. But if you try to let's design a dog, ain't going to do it, because it is so complex. These systems inside are so complex. You can believe if you want, it is chance, because it's undirected, really is chance. There's nothing over the universe, any design, it just happens. And it might have niches. She might do better for chasing down rabbits than I would. But still, that's to me, it's still just chance. Anyway, and my definition though. It's not going to be a slug that runs down rabbits. Never a slug could run down a rabbit. Now you could have some poison in it. If the rabbit eats it, it could die. But different. That's not what I mean by chance. Anyway, God bless everybody. Next time I will have sound going, or I will fire myself. All right. God bless everybody's day. See you next time. Oh, I'm supposed to end it. Where am I? Who knows? Okay. I got to come here to music thing because I love this. Who doesn't love this? Doggy, here, right here, next to him. There you go. Hit that button. She did it.